Happy rails to you. Welcome back, my friends. Happy rails to you. It's good to see you again. Happy rails to you. Please keep watching. Well, hello, everybody. See, it's GMan, My World 67. Just thought I'd give you a quick update. This morning, looks like it's going to be a beautiful day outside. 76 degrees right now, which is kind of nice for us here. I'm sure it's going to get warmer as the day progresses. But anyhow, hope everyone is well. And I hope there's been no grievances or losses due to COVID or other diseases and things that are going on right now in this dispensation of time that we're in. I wanted to give you a quick update on this Canadian Pacific, and it's been probably maybe a couple of weeks, and I still don't have the proper smokestack for it. I thought I had one. I've been going through my junk parts and my trains, and I am literally out of spare junk engines. I think I've got maybe one or two or more yet in one of my boxes, but I could not find them, and finally I just got tired of looking and gave up. But anyway, I've got, as to my old junk boxes, the ones that I usually draw parts from and pull engine shells and engines out of, it's just about completely empty as far as engines are concerned. I've got a lot of freight cars and a few passenger cars to work on for Marx and American Flyer. And I've got several American Flyer engines, but no Marx. So anyway, long story short, no parts. So I've ordered a smokestack for this engine, and it should be in, hopefully, now probably by next week. But in the meantime, I pulled out the old tender for it, and it was badly worn, and I touched it up. It had, as you can see, it still has a crease in it here and a slight crease here. This was badly dented in, and I got it straight as I can get it, considering if I wanted to tear the tender all apart completely, I probably could have maybe gotten this out a little smoother. But then I'd have to go back and reform my bends and all of that, and I didn't want to do all that. So I just got it out as good as I can by hand. And of course, you can't get the creases out that way. But it is what it is. And it cleaned up really nicely. And this is the original tender for this engine. Here's the chassis. It has the old scissor type coupler in the front. And I've just made some adjustments on that, some changes, modifications, and I'll show you here in a minute. Now, the inside of these wheels are still rusty. I haven't really cleaned them yet. I cleaned them up a little bit to see what the wheels actually look like, but I have not actually cleaned the wheels or the chassis like I want to. And so I'm going to clean this chassis up, take these wheels off, clean these wheels up, and we'll see if it needs to be repainted or not. It doesn't seem to be that much paint loss on it. It might be we could just touch it up and it will be fine. Put it back together. One of the things that I noticed when I took this apart was, as you can see down on the inside, another Canadian Pacific emblem, which gives us to know that they took another shell and at some point in time they recycled it. And that's one of the things Marx and American Flyer were great at, was recycling their misbobbers, or if they had too many of one, not enough of something else, they would scrap it and redo it. And that's what apparently has happened to this one. This has the darker Canadian Pacific shell. And I have another Canadian Pacific tender that has that particular emblem on it. And then they redid it, and it's just amazing the way they used to do things. Okay, so there's the shell. Been touched up and redone a little bit. And here's the chassis. Now, what I wanted to show you was this modification I'm making for this engine, or for this tender rather. Yeah, let me get my camera in a good place. Alrighty. I think that's good. Maybe a little more. Okay. So what I've done, I've taken this, because these aren't set up to actually hook up to anything except a pin type coupler or another scissor type coupler. Well, sorry about that. Try it again. Okay. Cameras seem to always drop or change directions just when you don't want them to. But anyway, so what I did was I fitted this tab and slot, the end of it, if you can see this, so that it actually slips down into that. And it makes an almost perfect union. Now, one of the things is this is a scissor coupler. So this usually moves back and forth. Well, actually, I had to do two things. I gauged it when I put the coupler in, and then I drilled and, well, I didn't drill. Actually, I ground. I ground this out in this direction at an angle so that there would be enough room once this is held in place. The key is you have to take this outside jaw, and this has to be held in position. So what I did was I took it, I measured it, I drilled that out so that it would have the proper shape, and then I held this in place by super glue. I super glued it together. I had to clean this tab and clean the space, and then super glued them together. And you can use whatever type of glue that you have that's a nice, strong, permanent bond. I use super glue for a lot of things, and it works. And so that was my method. And as you can see, it's together. It takes quite a bit of pressure to break that bond. And so what I'm going to do is, there's no danger of this tab just pulling through there because of the way the coupler was made to begin with. I also ground off these two ends, which are kind of pointed. I ground them off and made them flat because I'm going to take this piece of aluminum that I have right here, and I bent this over and I fashioned it because I'm going to glue it to this coupler and then press it down. I'll put it right there, just like that, and press it down so that it makes a nice permanent bond. Then when your engine is hooked up to it, and I knocked it out. It's kind of hard to do without it stationary. There we go. Anyway, when it's hooked up to it, as you can see, we'll get a little better angle with the camera here. My picture's kind of grainy today, but as you can see, it hooks right up. And that kind of gives it an extra gauge, keeps it from coming out, and gives it a better look overall. So close I can't even see myself. Okay. Apologize for the poor picture today, guys. I don't know what's going on with my camera. So we're going to do that. Right now. Get it set up for permanency. Now actually there's enough glue right now on there. We're going to let it drip down a little bit. There we go. There we go. And as I said, we'll place this on it. If I could keep my hand steady. I'll put a little glue down in there also. All right. Now, see. We press that down. We've glued it in place. Once that glue dries, that'll create a permanent bond. It should last the rest of my life. And hopefully, until someone else wants to take it off. Or at least for another 20, 30 years. There you have it. Now my mat's not sitting level right now because I got a bunch of paper on one side. Stick this under there so you can get a little better view of how that looks. And you see when it's at the right height, that tab and slot coupler just sits right down in there. And as I said, even if there's a bump, it should not pull out. And it's actually an easy in, easy out. Okay, well, it's just a quick video just to share that with you. A little modification that can be done and not destroy the coupler itself. Still make it usable and serviceable if you had something in particular you wanted to hook it up to. As I said, I'm going to clean these wheels up. I'm going to clean these trucks up, and overall just finish cleaning it up and service it a little bit. It rolls real good as it is. Get it back together, and hopefully when the smokestack comes, I'll be far enough done with the layout that will be able to run trains. All right. That's all I have for you in this video. And as always, if you enjoy and love operating, running your trains, working on them, customizing, restoring, whatever it is that you like to do, and working on your layout, then you should have happy rails. That's all for now. Bye-bye.